Hello there everyone, welcome back to Corey Loses, where today we are once again continuing our Fall of the Republic 1.3 preview playthrough as the Galactic Republic. The last episodes resulted in us taking over most of the south other than Geonosis and Hypori. We've started pushing into the Commerce Guild territory over here, though they do still have Mintuine, one of the scarier planets. So we are going to continue on our way through both this region of space heading into the Banking Clan former territory, and probably building up for the attacks on Geonosis and Hypori. We have two fleets positioned to kind of start off with that, or to start off building towards that, but they are quite built up, and I'm kind of waiting for some of our story progression as we get into Order 66, because we did choose Order 66. It's just we need the Senate to deliver on the promises of that. By the Senate, I mean Palpatine. But I have been away for the last week or so it's been a while without any streams. At least a while for me. I did manage to get videos prepped for the entire time on Loses, plus a bunch of clips for the Clips channel. I didn't get extra videos done for Datapad, which is always the trickiest one to do. Especially because I've got like 5 or 6 videos that are going to be 20 plus minutes planned. Like, I was working on a video that was about going over all the chancellors that we know about of the Republic. So I was like writing the script one of the mornings, thought it'd be like a 10-minute video, looked at the page count, and I was already at like 6 pages before I got even to the late Republic ones. So that was like the morning I left, or the morning before. The morning of the day before I left, and it was just a bunch of stuff. Yeah. But anyways, I got to see my family, so that was nice. Got to spend time with my nephews. So we're back and recharged for some Star Wars. And so let's start off with our Mandator, and let's get that some more action. Never remember if that actually... Yeah, okay. That works. All right, we're going to Jabim. So I've got to keep it themed with Kenobi in the clip from today. But did they build? Yeah. So when I bought the Legos, can you see the Legos in the background? No, nope, you can't. But yeah, I got the Lego sets for the Lego building stream, which I still need a second camera for. But those came with extra sets. Like just little non-Star Wars ones. So I brought those back and gave them to my nephews, and they liked those. One chewed on a few pieces, which wasn't really what they were intended for, but didn't swallow them, so that's good. Alright. I did build the Titanic as well. That's over on the side. I did not bring the Titanic Lego set for them. A little too young for that. Alright, let's see. We'll send in some Act 1s over on this side. We've also got that kind of Act 1 and Raspberries. But I want these to go for the Golan. I think the Mandator is going to be fine with the ships we're looking at here. And we've also got some Arquitins. They're going to be struggling a little bit, but we're fine. There were definitely a bunch of Legos that were in danger of being stepped on, but I managed to navigate the playroom successfully. Playroom, living room, what's the difference? Alright. It's so weird seeing them, too, because they're young enough that, like, every time you see them, they're super different with how far away I live. Like, I live in Ottawa, I'm from Niagara, so my family lives in, like, Niagara, St. Catharines area. Target their laser cannons. And I saw them around late November, early December last year, and not since then, so When you're talking about like a 3-year-old and an almost 2-year-old, that's a big difference. I was like convinced the younger one wouldn't remember. He did. It was nice.
You've got the captain.
I got out of the car when my sister picked me up, and the younger one like ran up and gave me a hug and said he missed me. That was nice. I was expecting him to like run away scared for the first night or something.
Our Quentin's here. Focus fire on that target.
This is the captain. Missile destroyer reporting in.
All right, Jabim, you don't have to worry, Jedi, about your evil fates. If you want to hear more about Jabim, check out Corey's clips for a breakdown of the Clone Wars Battle of Jabim. There you go. Synergy. Now I can charge myself some kind of mission fee thing for that. I think that's how that works.
Target their laser cannons.
Missile destroyer here. Captain here.
Then I can write it off? I don't know.
You've got the captain.
Sir, we've lost another ship.
Our Quentin's responding.
Missile destroyer reporting in. Targeting
Alright, gotta... If everyone just goes for the same anti-fighter ship, it'll overpower the point defense a lot more easily.
Locked on target.
There we go. One of the downsides of point defense is that, like, in multiplayer, if you have 2 people on the same team, point defense doesn't differentiate between allies and enemies, so you'll shoot down your allies' missiles if you don't position correctly. Like, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that, and it's not a function that I want to remove. Like, I don't want to remove point defense as a whole from multiplayer, so it's just something you end up having to kind of be aware of. Okay, there's still some fighters and 1 anti-fighter back there, so let's get our Arquitens out in the back here. Yeah, like, pretty much anything that was added in Forces of Corruption is going to end up having some kind of problem like that. That's just how it is. But this week, I'm also going to be trying to prepare for the Imperial playthrough to start. It is not quite ready. There's a few things I need to still clean up with both the map and the progression changes. So I want to make sure we're in a reasonable position with that. So I was kind of hoping to start it this week. It'll probably end up being next week, just to be safe. But we'll see.
We might be small.
All right, I think it is just this diamond that's left. Like, we'll probably have today and then next Monday recording for this playthrough, so there's probably like 5 or 6 episodes left, which means we're most likely going to end up starting...
I'm not here to boost your confidence.
There's nothing we can't handle.
Alright. Ship designer Lyra Blissix has approached you about funding new Star Destroyer types for the Republic. This can be done on Kuat in the political options menu. So I think we started the construction of this last time. Yeah, the KDY projects. Or KDY contracts. We are doing the Venator the Victory research first. So we'll drop Yoda on. I want to take Jabim before we get into the next battle. Or before we get into the KDY construction.
An answer. We must find ally.
Alright, let's see if we can keep it realistic and kill a bunch of our Jedi here.
Don't be helpless, did you?
Let's see what we revealed. It shouldn't be that bad, actually.
Depart now, suggest I do.
Eclam? bring in our ATXTs so it's thematic. I think they're on Jabim in that comic. We're gonna have to just kill all the civilian homes. Give them more reasons to hate the Republic. Bring in a UTAT. Where's Yoda? Okay, run on over. I am really hoping we get to the point where we're able to start a Revan's Revenge campaign sooner than later as well. Like, we're not too far off from that being viable. So, I'm really hoping sometime this summer that can happen. Alright, you're probably fine there. And move them a bit closer. Okay, you really need to destroy that. So then we can get the LAT over. We're gonna lose these air speeders. I'm not that worried about it. Actually, if I can get you out of there, I will. Where's Yoda? Mr. Yodel. Sometime this summer for what? For the first Revan's Revenge campaign. Oh crap. What was? Oh, they have J1s there. Crap. So that's probably going to be a problem. Yeah, we lost the LAT as well. I think we might need to bring in Mace for this. Okay, Yoda, can you get over to those J1s before we start losing some stuff? You guys can finish off that spider. I think. There you go. And Mace, get on up there as well. Alright, if he gets to the J1, then I think we can handle the rest of this. And can you get in front of that before it dies? There we go. Alright, I think they're fine. You can just smack that to death, and now kill them. Just bounce around, do Yoda things. Mace, you can go to the structures. Like, that's mostly infantry, so yeah, it's like B1s and civilians. Yoda, or not civilians, militia. Yoda's got this. Especially if we can roll in this Juggernaut for support.
I've seen you fight better.
Right. I think we got them there. Nice. There it is. Don't like that we lost the LAT in the artillery. Alright, where are we likely to get attacked as well? Because I think we're going to want to build up Rothana and then get an extra goal in 3 there. If they attack Ryloth, I want to keep it on the ground for that. If they attack Naval, we may as well have our extra possible defenses. Same thing with Tatooine, where I think we actually have a hypervelocity gun already. But even though they're only like max level 2, it's still better to have the defenses than not. And I think Rishi, we should go on the ground. That'll be... We'll lose the food.
Building under construction. Bring her around. Construction complete. Training soldiers.
Let's get clones on there. And we'll get a planetary shield. And we'll get some extra vehicles on Rathana to send over to Rishi. Artillery for a planet that has a shield is always nice. Alright, how are we doing on Kuat now? Halfway through that research.
Construction complete.
You know what? I'm gonna cancel that. Because I don't know if I started this with him there. Does it actually give the... Just kind of it doesn't. Alright, we've got these ground forces
That
with
was
Ayla.
distracting.
And I think we can go from here to Ethor. So we will need some of these other vehicles, or some of these other
Of
ships.
course, Your Highness. Course plotted. Construction complete.
So how is that going to be for ships? 129. I think we want a little bit more than that. Do we have any of the patron units to still build? No. So it's all just whatever else we can get out of it. Let's bring these guys up. Thank you, Toby, for subscribing.
On my way, Commander.
Did have a good break, thank you. Alright, that's 255. That's 300. So... I think we can actually afford to take some of this out of here. She's a remarkable vessel with the engineering breakthroughs we tackle. Developing her, she's just a start. She's a real sign of things to come. Victory 1 unlocked. Alright, so we got 2 more victories we can throw in there too. So I guess I won't need to split that fleet if we've got some extra ships out of this. It'll just be nice when we can send this stuff from down here. Yeah, that's as good as that's gonna get. That's still getting better. That's about... That should be full on the ground. Nope, not quite. Let's go with some artillery on that. Invade Ryloth from the ground. So it'll have to be one of... I'm not sure which of these it'll be. They're kind of full on both. And they can pass by each other. I assume that it's CIS. Okay, they actually left from there with space stuff. Double Kolovex? And how fast is this going to be going? Alright, so I think we got it. Alright, which means we'll go from there to Saleucami. We don't have Adigalia. Stas Alley? We don't have whichever one exploded on Saleucami. So we'll have to sub him in Shaak T.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. It's a ruse.
Choose your reinforcements. Bearing set. Ready to face the enemy unleash. Consider it history.
Oh, we actually do have a few pages. We have Fitzroy, we have Windu's Blade, we have Peregrine Cook,
Who needs fixing?
Delta,
On my way, Commander.
EDF, and we have another Delta for some support.
Ready to commence. On my way.
I'm gonna start
Commander.
moving them up
As you wish,
towards
Commander.
the station, or the shipyard rather, in the trade port. Because they should be able to get through that pretty quickly.
Watch your tail. You picked up a try.
Join the fire.
I did a video on the Clips channel of council members who survived Order 66. It was like... a third of them that managed to live. It was not the most efficient part of the operation.
We can't let them escape.
I got a lock.
And as far as we know, one of them is still surviving the purge. Like, I guess I don't know if you want to count Yoda as having survived the purge, because like he died, but he didn't die
Drawing their fire.
from
Keep your eyes open.
the Empire or from Vader.
Ready for attack orders.
Like, he died from, I think,
Taxpayers.
a bad soup. I think it was food poisoning.
At your command.
Return of the Jedi wasn't especially clear on what was going on there,
Some reinforcements. Incoming.
but
I can't get a visual. Delta here.
Ready to commence.
Switch the attack pattern.
I'm transmitting the coordinates to you now. We should stay clear.
like, you have Yoda, Obi-Wan, Coleman Kaj, and Oppo Rancisis still unaccounted for in new canon. In Legends, Rancisis died, but in new canon,
The order.
he's unaccounted for.
95 on combat approach.
Whatever it was they were looking for, it looks like they already found it.
Reporting in, sir.
Awaiting your orders, sir. Moving to attack. Good shot.
Better be some flanking maneuver.
You've got the captain. Delta here.
Ready for attack.
Like, what I'm waiting for is the scene in Mandalorian Season 3 when Oppo Rancisis comes in and just does what Luke did in Season 2.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Everyone in the theater, they're just going to stand up and clap. Even in countries where
Battle is ours.
we understand that making noises in cinema is actually pretty bad. You shouldn't do it. It's crazy. Like, it's so weird to me that there are places where it's just not considered a crime
Construct.
to start yelling or clapping in the cinema.
Building.
I kind of get it at the end of a movie, but like at the start, or not at the start, but like during the movie, when there's still things happening, I don't get it. Okay, Shaak T, you were promised some screen time. You get it this time. Reckon there will ever be a... Toby's asking, reckon there will ever be a series about Jedi Purge Aftermath, like the immediate survivors and their struggle to escape? Would be pretty cool. I don't think there will be one about, like, a bunch of Jedi as a whole, but,
Choose your
like, you get a lot of stories about either individual ones or some where it's technically about an individual one, but it ties more into their experience, or more broadly, like,
Get to the bunker.
Fallen Order has a lot of that, even though it is, like, particularly focused on Cal. And it seems like Jedi Survivor is probably going to have more on that theme as well.
I'm a holding up. Follow behind me.
Get to the bunker.
So I expect a lot of that to start happening in Survivor.
We've secured
That's my guess.
Make no mistake. They are coming.
Go.
The light ties. None of these should be particularly dangerous to our tanks. They're mostly transports and then some droideka. You can all stay there, and Shaak T, you can keep going towards the... What is that? You are faster than you are letting on currently. Stop here and let the Juggernaut run by, please.
Lock it down. Going in tight.
Alright, this is starting to get a little bit more dangerous. So... let's see if we can turn it around up here. And they can come back in. There we go. You get the AA. I actually don't hate this map in principle. I think there are a few things that can be done to improve it, but I think it's actually one of the more fun, more interesting Forces of Corruption maps. Like, you have a few ways you can progress. There's some different terrain options. All of the AW maps are visually pretty good beyond that as well.
We must get you to your shelter immediately.
Do we need to go up there? No, the Droideka are going to come to us, and there's not really a reason for us to kill the
We must follow
power gen.
Ethorians. Four throats.
Alright.
Hurry. Never have we been outmaneuvered by droids.
Get up there. They keep going for burying some stuff into that landing zone. So they don't have anything in the transports to ferry. Alright, we can go into the main base now.
We should clear the area.
Along the edge. They're trying. Vacation was good, thank you. The Republicing is also going pretty well. Had some successes. We've gotten our Kuat contracts.
Yes, we need more knights.
It's all coming up Millhouse.
I'm a holding up. Where you going, trooper?
Alright, that should be it. There we go. It is it. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen. Ah.
Planetary control
Building
achieved.
under construction.
Building under construction.
Getting pretty deep into the foundry of the CIS here. They've taken a few of the planets from the banking clan. There's still Orinda and Ordrassi. Once they have Ordrassi, that'll be another shipyard for them in the region, which we've kind of deprived them of in other areas. But move over here, and we'll get ready for an invasion of Ethor.
Construction complete.
I am gonna get actual KDY on this as well.
Constructing.
Normally, I don't build many corporations in these playthroughs because I mostly use the patron units, and the patron units aren't discounted.
Construction complete.
But we built all the patron units now, so there's a reason to. Statement playthrough comes in the 4th longest LP by runtime. Jesus, I was not expecting that. Well, Tickler says, I like the custom colors. Is it part of the mod? If by custom colors you mean like the colors of the factions, that is part of the mod. Rather than using the Empire and Republic colors from the base game. Or Empire and Rebel. Alright. Let's see. We have the ground units down here for a Geonosis invasion. We're just not quite ready on the space side of things. That is 613 now. How is the forces comparing? Yeah, they're above us now. Who'd you say is the best Jedi unit? Anakin's vehicle crush is really useful, but Shatterpoint on Mace Windu just lets him absolutely demolish enemy heroes. So that'd definitely be in contention. I think what we're actually going to do for our next battle is take this dude, take Autumn, into Ethor. And then Ayla and Delta can take Ethor.
Construction complete.
Do we also... Oh, we want one little victory.
Production.
Is that... I think that was actually unavailable as yet. Let's get that.
Tactical battle imminent.
104. Okay, we got this.
They're already in place.
Choose your reinforcements.
I mean, I think Yoda is probably a safe bet on best, like with the vision. And his raw stats and berserk use are the best as well. But
Right, sir.
let's see. We got Paul, we got Eric Obama, we got Voxy Potato Freighter, we got Cuba Libre, we've got Eku,
We can do that.
we have Republic Warlord Star, we have Autumn, we have
Homing
BSD-1, Queen Amidala's Revenge, Akmolgi, Journeyman of the Stars, Ascendant Wolf,
Engaging drive thrusters.
and we'll throw in Destroyer of Worlds and Bombers, I guess. Lori's Lori, Astral Hammer. I may be small, but I pack a punch. Indus, and I think that's good for
Missile
now.
tubes loaded. Missiles locked on. Here. Reporting in. Reading you. Battle stations. Clear the area. Missile destroyer reporting in. You got the captain.
Alright, that's actually going to be quite a few fighters coming in. So let's also get Violite, this CR-90, Viholison.
Frigate on the move.
Accelerating now. As you wish.
These guys can start going for the station.
This is the captain. Locked on target. Do I have fighter support? Targeting computer online.
This VSD-1 is taking some damage. Got a good chunk of fighters coming in now, too.
Sir, they're still technically
The diamonds are all up in our units.
Got you on the comm.
So I think if we focus on...
Nominal
Or if we
status.
send our bombers into the station, they'll probably survive even better. We've got, like, 9 squads in there. It's 6, but 3 of them are double, so... I know math. I can do basic math.
Clearing the skies. Captain here.
Alright, let's also take out some of these,
Concentrating fire.
carriers.
They're losing reinforcements.
Autumn... you can go for another one of the carriers
Yes, General.
with this VSD, and this act can go for the Unifex that's right on it. I was asking, why isn't Space Anakin's in his fighter and not in his Venator flagship? We don't do mixed ground and space heroes with like capital ships in basically any situation where you can avoid it. Like most Jedi have
Frigate
some kind of ship associated with them in lore, but usually for the flagships that actually matter, there are better options for heroes to have them independently, like Yularen having the ship that would typically be associated with Anakin, and that also means we can separate more of the heroes more easily. Because mixed ground and space, like capitals plus infantry heroes, EAW's AI doesn't handle them the best, so it just makes more sense to keep the Jedi as Jedi, give them their fighters, which we do still need to do some updates to, and keep the capitals as capitals.
Got you on the comm.
Similar to how like Palpatine doesn't have the Eclipse as his actual flagship in Cloud Revenge. It just makes it too messy.
Locked on target.
In some places it's unavoidable,
Got you on the comm.
or if we want a hero to be like to particularly stand out, they can have both.
class frigate.
But like the Republic has a ton of Jedi, so if they all have like free Venators all the time, that's not great. Plus it does mean we have to have even more versions of Anakin, because Venators aren't always around, so we'd have to switch in from whatever prior Venator setup to the Venator setup, which means we have to set up the scripts to swap all those heroes multiple times when they already have a change from, like, him to Vader, so it just makes things way too messy. Like, the Republic already has a ton of other Venator hero options, too, without making all the Jedi have them. Some of them are those flagships that would otherwise be tied to heroes. So, nothing is really lost by doing it this way. Makes it easier for us to deal with. The ion cannon is not ideal. NTBs, can you please get in here? Alright, that looks like that is probably going to destroy an Acclimator. I'd rather not have Ascendant Wolf die here. Celestial Vision is asking, does Thrawn's Revenge mod include a regular Galactic Civil War era original movie time period? Not yet. We have a different mod where we're going to be putting that, called Imperial Reign. Thrawn's Revenge will not cover the Galactic Civil War. Imperial Reign is still, like, really early in development, but hopefully throughout this year there will be a bit more news going out about it. So right now we're mostly going to be working on launching Revan's Revenge. Oh, fuck. No, don't go forward, you jerk. Stop it. Fuck.
Target at maximum range.
Missile destroyer reporting in.
Target at
I think we gotta...
Negative, sir.
Battle stations.
Thank you, Arius, for subscribing. 10 months. What would you say is a good fleet build? Because I'm seeing a lot of players just have 3 Venators and some destroyers. I mean, it really depends on what you're fighting. You do want to have a mix of different stuff, like a couple Venators, a couple Acclimators, a couple Victories, a couple Peltas. But if you're fighting a carrier-heavy fleet, you want more anti-fighter. Venators are pretty decent at everything, so they mix well into most fleets. They'll always have a home. Alright, I think that might actually survive. Just gotta... Okay, you're getting shields back. That's good. We're good. We're fine. Everything's fine. Autumn, come down here.
Standing by. Reading you. Breaking comm silence. Ready for orders, Captain.
What's the order?
You got you covered.
Simon's coming down there.
Those are the droids
All
we're looking
stations
for.
ready.
Got you on the comm.
Pretty bad shape out here.
And...
Requesting air support.
Station will be down in a second. I don't think there's a diamond around here. No, it's just,
At your service.
just this one.
For the Republic.
And we win.
Captain here.
I'm under attack.
There's nothing we can't
Got
handle.
one on you.
Fire for maximum effect. Missile tubes loaded. Missiles at the ready.
Their reinforcements are taking control.
I also did do a full faction guide with the Republic and CIS and like how you want to use your ships and what they're good for.
They're everywhere.
You can check that out too if you want more specific advice.
Sir, incoming transmission.
Oh, there are 2 down here.
Targeting computer online. This is the captain. Battle stations. Ready.
We're depleting
Battle Stars Galactica.
We're depleting the separatist reinforcements.
You need to make any new assets for Imperial Reign, or are most already included in factions and Thunderband. There are some things we need to make, like we need a new Death Star. There's some new cannon assets that we need for that half of the mod. A lot of character models that we don't have already as well. Like, ship-wise, we can easily do a first release, at least, of Imperial Reign without having to make too much new stuff. Like, Revan's Revenge, we mostly needed new assets to make the mod. Imperial Reign, it's mostly how we put together the scripting and story elements. Like, it's going to be a fairly significant gameplay change from TR and Fall of the Republic. So different combat scale and all that. But that is going to do it for today's episode. We're going to keep going here on Twitch, though, for a couple more, probably. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye, everyone.